Good evening, good evening, good evening, Facebook. Good evening, Facebook. I wanted to invite you out to Plumline tomorrow night at 7:30. Fresh Manna Ministries, 7905 Forest Hill Drive. Again, 7905 Forest Hill Drive, Everman, Texas, 76140. Plumline tomorrow night, 7:30, Forest Hill Drive, Fresh Manna Ministries. Food, fun, dominoes, game, praise and worship, and an awesome word from God. I wanted to give you guys a word for tonight. As I was reading in Matthew chapter 18 and verses 23 to like 30, it says that there was a servant that owed his king 10,000 bags of gold. Said he owed him 10,000 bags of gold. And this particular servant, he wasn't able to pay the king what he owed, the 10,000 bags of gold. So the king ordered that the man be sold, his wife be sold, and his children be sold in order for him to get what the servant owed. But at that particular moment, it says that the servant got on his knees and he began to beg the king for him not to sell him, his wife, and his children. So the king had compassion as this man began to cry out for him to cancel this debt. So as the king seen and heard this servant of his begging and crying for this king to cancel his debt, guess what? The king canceled the debt. He said, your debt is free. Your debt is clear. The 10,000 bags of gold that you owe me are canceled. You no longer owe me anything. So as this servant was blessed and granted another opportunity, it says that as he walked out, he met and saw a servant that owed him 100 silver pieces. And it says that this servant began to choke the man that owed him debt. It said he choked the man and told the man that he needed to pay him what he was owed. So he was blessed and forgiven 10,000 bags of gold, but yet he didn't want to forgive a man that owed him only 100 pieces of silver, way less than what he was granted forgiveness for. So what is the message? There are many of us out there who have sinned against God. There are many of us who have done things that have been ungodly, that have been unrighteous, that have been so low to others. But still yet, God has forgiven us. God has forgiven us, and those individuals have forgiven us. Those ones that we have let down, those ones that we have talked about, scandalized their names, have done things that have been so wrong. God has forgiven us, and those individuals have forgiven us. But what? We are holding unforgiveness in our heart to individuals that have done things to us that what? They don't even compare to the things that we have done to them. Don't even compare to the things that we have done to God. But we are walking around with hard hearts and bitterness and unforgiveness to our hearts to others. I'm encouraging myself. I'm encouraging all that are watching tonight. Those who are walking around with unforgiveness, that walking around with hate, walking around with just pure unforgiveness. Forgive and let go. Forgive and let go. No, I don't care what the individual has said. I don't care how bad the pain is. I don't care how bad the hurt is. It could be a uncle or a family member who has molested you. Forgive and let go. It can be somebody who has cost you your job. Forgive and let go. It can be an individual who promised that we're going to pay you back that money that you have let them borrow. Forgive and let go. Whatever it is, forgive and let go. And I encourage you to do so. And once you do so, God is going to give you peace. God is going to give you happiness. God is going to just give you whatever that you need and you desire. But many of us are walking around with high blood pressure. Many of us are walking around stressed. Many of us are walking around with all these elements because we are walking around with a hard heart, with heaviness, bitter, complaining about people. Man, let the stuff go. Let the stuff go. And once you let it go, God is going to give you joy. God is going to give you peace. God is going to give you happiness. So I encourage you, no matter how bad it is, no matter how hard it is, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but just begin to work. Begin to work to let those things go. Forgive and let go. The man was forgiven of 10,000 bags of gold, but yet he couldn't forgive somebody who owed him 100 pieces of silver. Come on, people. Forgive and let go, and stop allowing the devil to steal your joy and your happiness. These people that have moved on with their lives, even be it a relationship, the man has cheated on you, the woman has cheated on you. Forgive and let go, and watch God give you peace. Watch God give you happiness. Trust me. How do I know? Because I have forgiven and I have letting go. Be like a child. A child can get a whooping and be mad and be angry, and then a couple hours later, they done forgot all about it. They want to hug their parents and be underneath their parents. Be like that. Forgive and let go. I love you, Facebook. Join me tomorrow at Fresh Manna Ministries, 7:30 p.m., 7905 Forest Hill Drive, Fort Worth, Texas, 76140. Food, fun, dominoes, games, spades, praise and worship, and an awesome word from God. Please join me tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a great night.